Guess what? I'm going to die. I don't know precisely when, but I'm pretty sure it'll be the last thing I do. And my day is coming in the relatively near future. Say 20, maybe 30 years from now. It worries me. Guess what else? You're gonna die. And considering the course of history, your day is coming in the relatively near future as well. It ought to worry you. After all, how are we going to be remembered? What are we going to leave behind? Who's going to tell our stories? Look at our Facebook photo pictures. Treasure our silly souvenirs. Who's going to keep our keepsakes? You know, all the things that are precious. Will anyone know what to do with the Broadway ticket stubs, Grandma's recipe book, the handmade Christmas ornaments, the high school yearbooks? What about the lockets of baby hair and the pressed anniversary flowers? Who's going to go through all this stuff? All this special stuff, all this precious stuff. As a visual artist working with found objects, I ask myself these questions all the time, especially on Tuesday nights. That's when I go to Bill Mishu's auction house up on Fairfield Road. It's my very favorite art supply store. I go to sift through the remains of other people's lives, boxes of porcelain figurines, Beanie Babies, pots and pans, CDs and records, towels and monogram pillowcases. There's always the hardly used exercise equipment and frequently a fish tank that hasn't seen water in at least a decade. Whole houses are deposited up and down the aisles, numbered lots to be sold to the highest bidder. Ever wonder where flea market dealers get their wares? Well, this is one of those places. I love it. I also hate it. You see, I go and I'm not really looking for a 8-track player or a 10-speed bike. I'm not in the market for a finely painted set of china or silver-plated candle holders. Some dealers really do find things that are rare, valuable, and antique roadshow bonanza prize. But not me. I'm not looking for these things. I'm looking for precious. And I both love and hate the fact that I generally find it. What is precious? The photo album of the hasty wedding before the man goes off to fight the Nazis. To me, precious is the handwritten letters, the Sunday school gloves, the beautiful things like elementary school report cards, tatting shuttles, rusted nails organized neatly into cigar boxes, jars of shirt buttons. I'm going looking for eyeglasses, calling cards, greeting cards, paper dolls, Lincoln logs, and even hungry hippos. Special occasion Tupperware. These are precious. These are the things of everyday life, everybody's everyday memory, and a lot of it ends up at Bill Mishu's auction. Oh, I understand why. I know people die, leaving households full of stuff. Their grandkids live in faraway states, in mourning, in shock, taking leaves of absences from important jobs. Sometimes they only have a few days, maybe a week, to get the house ready to go on the market. They are overwhelmed by the paperwork alone, and yet they have all this other stuff to go through too. Sometimes it's just easier to have it hauled off to Bill Mishu's auction, and that's where I come in. Now, I'm not a high bidder. I won't pay more than a couple of dollars for an entire box of vintage linens. I set my limits low, even on 1950s scrapbooks. Another way of saying it, I'm cheap. But I still often end up with the rare and precious possessions of an entire family for under $40. Love it, hate it. It's the bittersweet truth. And I rationalize to myself, oh, Susan, you can't pay more for mere art supplies. That's all these things really are to me, art supplies. But they are so much, much more. Someone owned every little one, used it, loved it, kept it to their dying day. These are the things, the universal symbols of ordinary life, but also of extraordinary days. Let me give you an example. A young professional comes into my studio down on Lady Street and exclaims, "Oh my gosh, my great aunt had a drawer of buttons just like yours." Of course she did. So did mine. So did yours. This is ordinary, extraordinary. This is precious. Because you see, every saved button accumulated an inherent memory. Someone wore it. Someone cut it off the garment. Someone saved it. Every former keepsake was once cherished. Every trinket treasured. Every discarded photo captured a special day. My entire stash used to be in somebody else's hands. Was once someone else's precious possessions. And then I got a hold of it. And I stitch and nail and collage these things into artistic expressions of fleeting time. My work is a stop sign meant to have people recognize just how precious every ordinary day is. I work in partnership with all these raw materials. I'm trying to express what sometimes words can't adequately say. Cradles want to be filled with tiny bundles. Gloves tell me to add family names. Clock cases and watch gears speak of timepiece sculpture. And old wooden crutches, well, they speak too. They whisper of fading youth. When I look through a box of linens from Bill Mishew's auction, I can't help but think of the hundreds of women who spent thousands of hours crocheting doilies to beautify their home. I once took all those that I had and stitched them into a giant canopy, one filled with all our fairy tale dreams of a knight on a white horse coming to carry us away to a happily ever after ending. Well, life doesn't work out that way, and we don't decorate like that anymore. Haven't. For a long, long time. Are there still doilies in your dining room? In the sliding drawer of the buffet? What are you going to do with them? What are you going to do with the wedding dress in storage under the bed? Or the bridal veil? Do you still have the keys to your first apartment, a former office, forgotten cars, or the hotel room where you spent your honeymoon night? Heck, how many of us have a favorite mateless sock? Probably at home, sitting right on top of the dryer as we speak, waiting for its long-lost mate. This is precious. Ask yourself, what is precious to you? Is it your china, your silver, your jewelry? Is it the leather sofa or the HD flat screen television? Or is it your family photos? Oh, you've heard this all before. There are even television shows and movies that cast the wannabe lover into bad lighting when he fails to save the family photo album when the fire alarm goes off. But what have you done to save your family photo album? Have you labeled the backs of each one with the names and the dates and the places? Have you told your friends and family who these people are and why they're precious? Or will your images come down to a yet unborn artist, someone like me who might stitch them all together? Forgotten people driving cool fendered cars to Niagara Falls, celebrating forgotten birthdays, christening nameless babies. Could this be your family? Now, I'm not putting down my own artwork. It was a superhuman task to back all those photos with fabric and stitch them into a 15.5 by 6 foot grid. It was a superhuman task to devise the hanging system. But it is kind of sad that entire families went into the equation. People I don't know. Happy days frozen in time. Places that can't be fixed on any map. Like I said, love it, hate it, bittersweet. I can't stitch up all the things I've already bought from Bill Mishues. There's not enough time to take all the neglected doilies and transform them into oversized fantasies, or turn all the forgotten photos into a fiber community. There's not enough time. But I've tried to wrap all the rusted nails into little symbols of adults. Soft middles, strong spines, the patina of age and an actual head. But there are too many nails. There are too many piano keys and too many charm bracelets. There's too many photo albums and too many postage stamps for one artist to save. I don't actually need more. I don't want your precious things. Please keep yours forever. It would be glorious if I were sitting here ready to share some wonderful, mysterious plan that would save us all and all our precious possessions from being scattered or up on a future auction block. I wish I had that presentation. But I don't. Nobody does. See, my precious things aren't the same as yours. My memories aren't yours. And thus my answers aren't yours either. But I do have a message, an idea worth spreading. In fact, I have two of them. First, use your precious things. Unfold the very best linen tablecloth for any Monday night dinner. Wind the antique grandfather clock. Ladies, wear your honeymoon negligee before you can't fit into it. Gentlemen, smoke the Havana and open the best bottle for any occasion at all. Even none. Seriously, what are we waiting for? What are you waiting for? Now, I know things will get broken. I know the best laid plans won't always go perfectly. But does it matter? Shouldn't our precious things get used? Shouldn't the expensive candles eventually get burned and our first editions read, even with their dust jackets on? Eventually, the guest towels might as well be wiped and washed. Why don't you open the cedar chest? Do you even know what's in there anymore? You know, whatever is in there, take it out. Take a long look at it. Put it out on display. And tell your friends and family why your things are precious and why they ought to make it into the next generation. Yes, I know, using them means you'll have to risk losing them in order to save them. But that's not all. I have that second idea. Now, it might not be as awesomely fun as using all your precious things, but it is equally important. You see, after you've made all these new memories, used all the knickknacks of life, there's more, an idea more. Make a plan. Make a plan for the future of all your precious things. Who gets them? Do they want them? Will they want them if you share their stories? Give your precious things a voice. Your voice. Set into motion that unending melody, the song that lets the world know what's truly precious to you and why. And don't feel guilty if your plan means giving some of them away. Don't feel guilty if you give away even Grandma's doilies. Let me tell you about one lady. She made a plan. Yeah, she came to my studio and gave me her grandmother's doilies. Well, at first I couldn't accept, but she insisted. Why? Well, they'd been under lock and key her entire grandmother's life, her mother's entire life, her entire life. Her daughter didn't want them. Her granddaughter didn't know what they were. And she said to me, Susan, if I give them to you, they might become art, and I won't have to feel guilty anymore about having no one to leave them to. So happily, she gave me her grandmother's doilies. Luckily, they did make it into my canopy. But you see, some plans really do mean giving your precious things a chance with somebody else, actually losing them in order to save them. So how should you make a plan? A plan for your special things. There are as many plans as there are people. Obviously, I make art. But don't worry, you don't have to take up a threaded needle. That's my thing. Yours will be different. Different from mine, and different from the lady I just told you about. Maybe you'll shake off the dust from your favorite childhood toy, say a blue Smurf, and take it everywhere you go, snapping pictures of its continued adventures, posting them to Facebook. Your children will one day fight over that Smurf. Maybe you'll start a new family tradition, a formal dinner toast with every meal, water and mismatched champagne glasses, because somewhere along the way, the original precious ones did get broken, but replaced by others from yard sales. Isn't it the tradition that's special? Maybe you'll take your favorite t-shirts and have them made into a quilt. There are companies that do that. Perhaps you'll have Grandma's beads restrung into jewelry you can wear again. Or maybe, just maybe, you'll visit the lawyer and write out that will that you've been swearing you'll do, making a plan for that very last day, a plan for all of your precious things, sparing your friends and family from facing the overwhelming task of going through your life without a clue. Whatever you do, enjoy it. Even a trip to the funeral home for pre-arrangements doesn't have to be glum. After all, nobody's died yet. Make it a party. Make it a special day to celebrate all of your precious things before it's too late. In closing, I want to talk about success. You see, you and I, we won't know if our precious things actually do make it to the next generation. But that isn't actually the goal. Success comes in honoring the intention, trying, the attempt to keep those memories alive. Success is the adoration of the precious. I will know that I'm successful here today if in the future someone says, Susan, I used my china. I put it right into the dishwasher, didn't care if the silver rim got damaged in the rinse cycle. It's mine. I own it. I used it just for fun. I will know success if someone starts a blog to share all their family stories, complete with scans from their photo albums. I'll know success if a year from today, one of you can say, I made a print-on-command book, page after page of all the best memories from 2015. You'll know success any number of ways. When the family jokes, we're going to fight over Tickle Me Elmo, or the stuffed animal Dad won at the state fair. Finally, what am I stitching? Vintage wooden spools, complete with thumbnails from my family's photo albums. I don't know all the people. My 96-year-old grandmother doesn't remember them all either. But this is my family, and this is what's left of their memories. And this is my way of honoring and keeping alive those memories. And it's become my art. When I don't know the whole story, I make it up. That's part of my contribution. And the result is, it's even more precious. Precious is whatever you make it. So make it good. Make it last. Thank you.